quickly. It should not take more than 1 minute. Yeah, but the video is not on. Same issue. Correct. I'll just restart my computer. Okay. Because this is going to certainly help. Okay, sure. Thank you. Yep, thank you. Hello, Chetan. It was having some issues. Now I'm just trying to unmute myself. Okay, chalo, let me see. Yeah. Hi. So you're able to see me and you can hear me, Sarth? Okay. Thank you so much, Sarth, for confirming that. Now I'll just unmute. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Aniket here. And now my video is working and my audio is also working. Yay! Finally, things are working for us. And yes, fantastic. So shall we continue? But I just want to know that everyone is here, and if you can just give me a yes in the chat wherever you are, whichever station you are on, be it on Google Meet, be it on YouTube, doesn't matter. If you can see me, put a yes in the chat, and then we can get started. Yes, very good. The energy is coming through. All right. So now we're talking about following your passion. We're talking about finding your passion, and there are certain ways of finding that. Now let me ask you a few questions. I don't need you to put this in the chat. These answers are for yourself. Okay. The first question is: if money was not a problem, you have unlimited. What would you do that would make you so happy? If money was not a problem, what would you do in your life? And I'm going to give you a minute to think about this. Very good. You could destroy poverty. Very good. And see now what you would help others. Very good. But think about what would you do to make you happy as well. You are helping everyone else by sharing your wealth. Invest in technology. Okay, that's going to help for sure. And this is certainly something that came from within you. So you need to think about that. This is the love for technology that's going to drive you forward. Okay. Now, see, when it comes to our school, you guys are from 8th, ninth, and 10th standard, but I saw in the chat somebody was from 5A, 5B, 5C. So no matter which standard you are from, when it comes to your school and when it comes to study, there are lots of times when we find our own tuning. Now, what I mean by that is sometimes you know that I work really well when I'm listening to my songs. And you have that peak state of your mind, and then you start working, you get immense result, as opposed to your shoulders getting slumped. You are getting like, okay, let me get it done with, and then you start working on it, and the entire energy goes down, and like whew, right? Which energy would you like to work in? Energy 1 or energy 2? The one that went down, right? Which is why study is about managing your energy. When you start your day on a Monday morning, at that time, how do you get yourself at that peak energy? Some people go for run. I know some of you said you do karate. Some of you said you like history. So is it reading that one chapter? Does that make all the difference for you? Or is it playing a new tune or listening to A.R. Rahman and getting that, using that to get you into the peak state? What works for you? Try to find that out. Because the more information that you find out about yourself, the better it is for you. Because do you know where you can use this? When you are walking into that exam hall with nothing but a pen, pencil, and an eraser in your hand, it's not just the study that you have done, it is the confidence in your mind that's going to help you to do well in that exam. Not just in that exam, but in any other exam in the world. Priyanshi is asking, kaun si story hai? This is no story. This is the story of your life, Priyanshi. And when you are in your school and you get your homework and you start to do that homework, how many of you like to get up early in the morning and work on that? Because I remember when I was in school and I had my exams, I used to get up with my father. We used to wake up at 5 a.m. and then he used to teach me history. And at that 5 a.m., in that serene silence and a little bit of cold weather, but still having that warm tea in my hand and my father and the history book, that history used to come to life. And that was the time when I loved studying. That was the time then I learned that getting up early can actually help me. So which is why, in order to deliver this session to all of you today, I got up as early as 5 a.m. Okay, Pranav says study till night. Okay, that's also good. You need to find your rhythm. You need to know what works for you. But studying in the night actually has its own things going on. You see, when you are studying, at that time, your mom and your dad and your family is around you, and maybe at 10 or 11, everyone goes to sleep, and then you get your serene silence, you start to work. But while you're working, suddenly you think, why don't I watch something quickly on my phone because I'm getting sleepy? And while you're doing that, you start to get hungry. And then you think, why don't I get some Maggie or get something to eat? Then you go to your kitchen and then you start to cook something for yourself. And when you do that, at that time, why are you doing this alone? Let me watch something while I'm doing this. Then that Maggie finishes. Serene silence is still there, but whatever you were watching continues. And that's how all that time goes away. However, if you wake up at early morning, your mind is more fresh. If you wake up early morning and you make that as your routine, that is when you start to learn faster. Sarth says, I am also getting up at 6 a.m. because my English classes are there. I wake up at 5 a.m. and walk. Oh, yes, that's very important, Sarth. You mentioned about walking. So when it comes to walking, Just walking and listening to something is another level of walking. And that is something I discovered during the lockdown. Because during the lockdown, when everyone was doing something new, what I and some of my friends started to do was we used to walk in our society. And while we are walking, I used to listen to podcasts. I used to listen to Tony Robbins. I listened to Les Brown. I listened to a lot of other motivational speakers. I do storytelling sessions for kids. This my walking time is my study time. So whichever subject or syllabus that you are studying right now, listen to things about that subject during your walking time. So that single thing that you are doing every day is tying in with multiple other things that you are doing. If you want to use that time for your passion, you do that because that's your me time. Use that time to follow your passion. Learn more about guitar, learn more about karate, learn more about the passion that you are interested in. But use that me time more wisely. But then what do you do with these steps? You see, when it comes to Fit, Google Fit is one app that I love. And the reason I do that is because it helps me to track how I'm doing when it comes to my walking. As all of you can see, I hope you can see this. On my phone, you can see the number of steps that I have walked on a daily basis. How many steps? And I have kept a goal of around 10,000 steps every day. And when I continue to do that, when I have these number of steps, there is an app called as Impact. If any one of you can really help me out, find the link to this app and put it into the chat window. The name of the app is called Impact. So using Impact, you can donate your steps to a charitable trust. They can convert your steps into money. For example, my 10,000 steps turned into around 30 rupees. Now, me and my friends, when we started to donate this, within about 3 months, we were able to raise 1.5 lakh rupees just by walking. And we delivered that. We gifted that to a charity using this app. So the intention for that little story is you do your walking, but while you're walking, you also follow your passion. You also do your study. While you do that, you also contribute to a higher cause. And doing all this is something that's going to give you a sense of giving, because contribution is one of the basic human needs that we have. Okay, now when it comes to careers, have you guys started thinking about your careers? Because when we are at school, I'll tell you what happened with me. When I was in school, I had a cousin with me, and when I was in 8th, he was in 10th, 2 years ahead of me. And I used to get his examples. Hey, you can see that he's already in 10th. He has got good marks. So when you go to 10th, you get good marks as well. When I went to engineering, he already got a job. So when I got an example, hey, when you complete your engineering, you need to get a good job as well. So our parents always want the best for us. They have seen you from your day zero. They have seen you when you are 10 years old. They will see you when you are 20 years old, and they will always want the best for you. However, what you can be cannot be set by what you know right now. For example, did you know that there are so many different professions out there? There is an entire different profession designed for designing the houses around us. So whoever is an artist, you're very good in drawing, you're very good in thinking beyond the normal. All of these are creative fields. Whoever is really good in physical things, there is an entire profession dedicated to physical fitness. Whoever is good in explaining concepts to someone else, there is an entire profession for online teaching. And why am I telling you all this? I am telling you all of these things so that the examples that you set in front of yourself are not limited to doctors, engineers, or government professionals. Although all three of these are respectable professions, in order to become a really good engineer, you need to solve problems. In order to become a doctor, you need to study as thick as these books. Keep all that knowledge in your mind. On top of that, use your wisdom to perform the diagnosis. In the current COVID situation, we can see the importance of all the doctors. When it comes to the government, having good administration is important because you have a lot of oxygen cylinders around you, but the people who need it are not able to get it. So who can make it work? The people in the administration, which is why all these three professions are extremely important. But that doesn't mean that you need to fit yourself into that. When you can stand out, why blend in? I love this quote from Tony Robbins. He says that we are not the creatures of our circumstances. We are not the creatures of our circumstances. We are the creators of our circumstances. What do I mean by that? If you want to do something, you create your own circumstance for it and you start working on that. Okay, so that was all the things that I had planned, at least the first half of it. There are still a few more concepts that I want to cover. But before I go there, I want to check if you guys have any questions for me that I can help you with, that I can answer. If there is any things that you want to get more clarity on, I can help you with that. So let's start the question and answer session now. And if you have any questions, it's time to do it now because it's your orientation session. It's your questions that matter the most. And this is not just limited to the students. If the faculty have any questions, I would love to answer some questions from the faculties as well. Sure. Yeah.
How to find a passion?
How to find your passion? Okay. All right. Cool. So finding your passion is actually a process. Okay. And in order to do that, I have a process that I share with all of you. And the process that I want to share with all of you is it starts with an interest. How do you get an interest? You can get it by watching a YouTube video and you saw someone skiing in the icy mountains of Alaska and you were so inspired. I wish I could do that. And you're interested. The next thing you do, you go on YouTube, how to ski. And there will be one guy, I'm sure somebody would explain to you how to ski. But then you think, I am living in Yavatmal. There is no snow in the 500-kilometer region around here. So it's a good interest. But is it worth spending the time to turn that into a skill? Maybe not. So that's one way where you keep looking for different things. You keep learning new things. You keep reading new books. In the end, how do we learn? We learn through three things. First one is what you watch. What kind of movies you watch? What kind of documentaries do you watch? What kind of YouTube videos do you watch? My wife, I want to give you my example of my wife. She is somebody who is from the travel industry. She did an entire education in the travel industry. But after that, when we had our daughter, she decided to be a homemaker. But as a homemaker, she has found her passion. When she started to look at the YouTube videos, a lot of those YouTube videos spoke about how can you improve your home? How can you create your own solutions, own sprays? You can just do pss, 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 and you can clean anything. She found that during the lockdown, she started to make her own sprays. And now all of her friends call her and ask her for that advice. So she found her passion because she had many different interests. She turned one of that interest into a skill. So the journey is from an interest to a skill. When you got that skill, what's the meaning of a skill? Skill is something where if, let's say, I wake up Sarth in the middle of the night and say, hey, Sarth, can you play that guitar for me? And if Sarth is really passionate about it, he's not going to say, okay, I need to have 10 minutes of time. I'll just quickly get my guitar. I will do some study and then I will do the guitar. No, guitar is there with him. in the middle of the night. That is passion. And which is why when you got that skill, you need to take that skill and pursue that skill. Because right now, information which is at our fingertips is not an advantage, it's a disadvantage because you can get distracted so easily, right? Do you guys agree with me? Distraction. What are some of your distractions? What are some of your distractions?
Social media.
Social media. Oh, yeah. Any other? Sleep. Yes. Yes, sleep is certainly a distraction. Any other distractions? Newspapers? Newspapers, news channels telling you 3,000 people died by corona in the last 1 hour. And what do? Oh my God, corona is so bad. People are dying. People are dying. But does that impact your life? Does that impact your study? The book that you are holding in your hands to study doesn't really impact that. Games, says Pranav, so important. Games, it's a means for your entertainment, and which is where planning your entertainment time is also something important. However, these distractions is something that you need to get over. Okay, so I spoke about interest. You can turn that interest into a skill by getting rid of these distractions and persistently working on that. Do you know how much time it takes to get a new habit? Can I get some answers on that? How long does it take for us to get a new habit?
21 days.
Oh, yes, somebody is reading here. I want everyone to clap for. What's your name, sir? Please tell me your name.
Sahil.
Sahil, I want to clap for you right now. Yes, it does take 21 days to get any new habit. If you want to wake up early, if you want to get rid of your bad food habits, you need to get persistently do it for 21 days. And only then you can turn anything into a skill, because all of that is related to our neurology right here. Because when you learn something, there are neural connections which are formed in your brain. When you do it again, you don't have to create a new connection. You are using an existing connection. And the more and more you use it, that connection gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And the stronger the connection, the better the recall value. And the better the recall value, you don't have to think about doing it. It's there in your mind. It's there in your subconscious mind. Which is why the best kind of knowledge is the one that resides in your subconscious mind. And that's why all the teachers says that you need to practice, practice, and practice before you get into an exam. Why do they say that? To make your neural networks stronger, to make your recall value higher. And my friend Chetan, who is a doctor, would agree with me here. Chetan, if you have any comments, feel free to pitch in, my friend. Chetan and I know each other from Yavatmal from 1995. We used to walk to our exams together. Chetan, are you here?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I would love to get a question from you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that question, Chetan. I'm getting goosebumps by that question because I'm really excited to share that specific story from my life. Okay. The story goes like this. So, as in my introduction, ma'am had said, I have done a diploma in electrical engineering. And from there, when I filled in the form for engineering, I hoped only for a Pune college because Pune was and still is the home for a lot of good colleges. When I got the college as IT in engineering, I went to Pune with my father, both of us going literally on a mission. With bags in our hand, we landed in Pune. And when I went to the college, started to attend that college, all the other students had come from the first year of engineering to the second year of engineering. Because of my diploma, I went straight to the second year of engineering. Many of them had done a diploma in or education in computers before. For me, it was total, I would say, Latin and French. For the entire second year, I struggled a lot to understand the basic concepts of computer engineering. And that's really the time when I used to study a lot. It's not that I did not study. I had that habit. I used to wake up early. I used to study a lot. But when it came to understanding, getting the transition from the books to my neural network, there was some network connection problem there. Just like the network connection problem I experienced earlier in the previous attempt to the session, imagine that as my second year of engineering, where I could not hear anything, they could not see me, same thing. So your life keeps repeating itself. But in the third year of engineering, one of my professors, his name is Narendra Pathak. He was the HOD in the computer networking department, and he used to teach us computer networks. For the first time in forever, for the first time in my life, I was interested in that topic. I used to go to library and read books on that. When I went to my final year of engineering, we had a topic called computer networks and security. And that's where I came to know that, oh, you can hack into someone's computer. Wow, that seems nasty. Then I heard that, oh, you can launch attacks on other people. Then I used to think, how do you defend this? And that's really where my interest started. But the struggles did not stop there. Because my second year engineering marks were not so good, my average got impacted and my placements were having a problem. Then I started to I decided that I will think in my own hands. And I started to find a job for myself. And I would say God's grace, I got an opportunity in a company called Sonic Wall. When they called me to an interview, at that time, I went in there and all I could see are empty chairs everywhere. It was an empty floor with just one light going on from one cubicle. When I went in, there was a foreigner lady sitting there and she started to take my interview. The interview went at really well. And she said, okay, we are ready to hire you. But we actually want 10 more people like this. So do you have any kids in your school who would be interested in doing them? And I was like, sure, why not? My college has many other students. Please come. So the company came and there were 5 more students who got selected on that day. And all of them are doing really well. Now, why did I tell you all this story? I did go through a struggle to find my passion. But when I found it, I got a job in cybersecurity. But after that, multiple times I had options to switch to computer engineering, to software development, software testing, but I stuck with cybersecurity. And that is my dharma. That is something that I want to do. It makes me really happy, and I did that. Does that answer your question, Chetan? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And the reason I am sharing this story with all of you is so that if you are going through a similar struggle, you can relate with me. All that's needed is just persistence. There is a lot of gold beyond, but that is the journey. What did you take away from my session so far? Get into the chat because it's a live session. And what's the, if I don't get to hear from you, I'll not be able to digest my food today. So please help food and tell me, what did you learn in today's session? Chetan says, finding your passion. Very nice. Let me check YouTube as well. Solution of overthinking. So I think I have a question, some question on YouTube. I have one question that when it is our interview, then how to be calm and in peace? Oh, wow. Nice question, Sarth. Okay. So when you have your interview, you need to find what makes you calm and peace. I spoke about music Music calms me down. Just when we were starting the session, from 10:20 to 10:30, I was listening to a song called as Nada Tuniya Nad Nirmito Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Makes me quiet. It makes the storm of thoughts in my mind, that storm comes, and then I could think more, and which is what guru, Mr. Tony Robbins. There he is. He says massive action. That's what helps you. So you need to find that one person. You need to find those people who are helping you. For me, Mr. Narendra Pathak was my game changer. He helped me to fall in love with technology. To answer the question that I had got about finding your calm and peace, you need to find it yourself, my friend. What makes you calm and cool? Is it a quick work that helps you? Is it playing a guitar? Is it listening to a guitar? Or is it a quick meditation that helps you calm? You need to find that yourself, because each of us are made in a unique way. Now, there was one more question that I got here is solution for overthinking. Okay. Now, I have a two-pronged answer to this. And there's a debate going on in the YouTube. Someone says, just Google search. Why don't you just Google search? Well, yeah, you can Google search. But then you would not be able to hear my journey and my opinion if you Google search of getting somebody, and which is word by your school. I really appreciate that. I wish my school used to do of getting somebody tell you all these different things. So be thankful to your school for doing this. Okay, now overthinking. How do you stop that? One is, what is your gut instinct tell you? If I tell you that why don't you watch this movie? You look at that movie poster, and what's the first thought that comes to your mind? Is it a positive one? Is it a negative one? There is a very interesting way to get that answer. And that way is, you get a coin, you put that coin over there, and you toss that coin. Before the coin lands in your hand, your mind will wish for an answer. Oh, please let it be heads, 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 heads. Your mind already has decided. So what the coin gives you doesn't matter, but you have chosen that decision with your instinct. That is one way. Another way is a scientific way of doing this. Scientific way of doing this would be do a pros and cons analysis. Do a SWOT analysis. What is your strength? What is your weakness? Okay. What are some of the avenues where you can improve? And what are some of the threats that you're going for this? Everyone who wants to start a business should do a SWOT analysis of your strength. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? On stage, I'm getting nervous. Any solution? Well, again, the solution for is the mindset that you have. It's not the speech that you need to deliver that speech. You need to be confident and you need to look good. All focus is on you. But the real hero of a speech is not me. The real hero of a speech is you, the audience. If you think that the message that you have, that you want to share with the audience is so important, it doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter what confidence level you have. All that matters is your message getting across. If you keep that in your mind, everything else will take care of itself. Of course, there is practice that is needed. Your message is strong, and message will drive you towards your successful presentation. All right. Any solution for concentrating on your study? Okay. I would say the best use for that is identify what distracts you and give it some time. Okay. Well, let's say I was doing my own study, and while I'm working, I'm always distracted. I want to listen to YouTube. I'm chatting with my friends. There is somebody calling me on WhatsApp. 100 different things going on. But if I put my phone on the airplane mode. I close all the other tabs and I start a timer in my laptop, and the timer says 15 minutes. Now for the next 15 minutes, don't think about anything else. Just think about that. If you are able to do it, then you need to treat yourself. How do you treat yourself? Get yourself a coffee. Get yourself a chocolate. Give yourself one of your favorite TV, maybe a few minutes, not everything. But that's a reward. You need to tell them to like things, because we all love rewards. We all love bonus. So that can be one way. I had a question about, sir, when you go to interview for job of Microsoft, how was your feeling? Do you think the job? The book by Tony Robbins at that time, and the me that you need not be a survivalist. Will I survive this or not? That is one way of thinking. Today, that interviewer is going to remember me as somebody who he interviewed, and he's going to be with his wife when he's having the night. So I had read that powerful thing in one of the books that I was reading, and I took that in my mind. I spoke with my mother, and I told her, Mama, आम्ही चाललोय मायक्रोसॉफ्टच्या इंटरव्ह्यूला आणि आज ते लोक लक्षात ठेवणार आहे माझे आन्सर्स. And my mama was not able to understand, why is he talking like this? Beta, have something if you want. I mean, please. But actually, it happened. When I went there, the interviewer was a senior director, and he drew a network diagram for me. And he said, the packet from point A to point B, how will the packet travel in this network? And I looked at the network diagram and I said, sir, it will not travel. And he did not expect an answer. And I said, it will not travel because the network diagram is wrong. There's something wrong over there. And he was so impressed, he just rubbed the question. That question was gone. So what I'm trying to share with you is, it's your mindset that helps you to make things into reality. Okay, how can we persist in present of many distraction and events? Like I just said, you need to write down what you want to do. Give yourself a time frame, a small time frame, 15 minutes. Just do that one thing. Take a break of 5 minutes, another 15 minutes, do the same thing. Maybe I would like to do a session for all of you of doing mind maps, to learn, visualize literally anything in this world with the help of mind maps. And when you walk into, you can just think of that mind map and you can start doing your answers. I want to check with sister if how are, now the audience is completely interested. I'm getting a lot of questions and I'm really happy that will be digested today. So I'm happy for that, but I want to respect time as well. So how much time do we have on our hands? So Sankalp says, sir, to me, getting started to do anything is hard. I can concentrate properly, but getting started is hard. Any solution for it? Okay. The solution, I wouldn't call it a solution, but you need to make partnership. What I mean by that, okay, so we have 20 minutes. We can do it 30 minutes. Okay, so we have got around 20 minutes in our hands. All right. I would say that to get started to do something, you can have your success partners. You can have your accountability partners. For me, okay, I'll tell you a story about this. I do a Facebook live session. It's as the Positivity Podcast. And in this session, I interview different people. I talk about different good things and maintain positive environment. And when I went to my dentist 1 year ago, I told her I'm doing this podcast, and she was so thrilled by it. 6 months later, I visited the dentist again, and she said, so going on. And I almost drowned in guilt because I had not done the podcast for the last 1 month. And I said, thank you so much, ma'am. As soon as I got out, I went to my car and I did a live of Facebook Live that day to do the Positivity Podcast. So what helped me going on was my partner. You can have partners as well. It could be your friends. It could be your best friend. It could be your dad, your mom. It could even be your dog. If you can train your dog to do that, you can get that as well. So there are various different ways to achieve this consistency. And to get something started, the even more important thing is the why behind it. Okay, there is a reason that Apple sells more laptops than any other company. Apple have a simplistic design. They don't even have a lot of features that other companies have, but their why is so clear that they are only focused on innovation, on driving value to their customers, so that even if they are pricing their phone 1,20,000, people are ready to stand in a queue even in a pandemic to buy that phone. Why is it so important? Because people associate themselves with that brand. People think that if I have an iPhone, that means I'm doing good. And that brings me to a very important topic that I want to share with all of you. And this topic is called as the 6 human needs. Okay, these are 6 human needs that each and every one of us have. So we have got around 71 or 75 people in here, and these 6 needs are shared by all the 75 of us. Do you want to know about these 6 human needs? Do you want to know about these 6 human needs?
Definitely.
Okay, let's do this. Imagine that you have your favorite bike, your favorite phone, your favorite laptop, your favorite book, your favorite friend circle. But the next day when you are going to wake up, suddenly there is a question mark on some of these things. Maybe you will not have your bike tomorrow. Maybe you will have none of your friends tomorrow. Would that make you feel comfortable or uncomfortable? Uncomfortable, right? Pranav says food, water, shelter, some about technology. No, Pranav. You are nowhere close to the answer. It's not about the food, water, and shelter. Those are the needs for us as a human to survive, not to thrive. If you want to be somebody who excels in life, you need to know these 6 human needs. Okay. The first human need that we are going to talk about is something called as certainty. When you know a lot of people, okay, let me tell you something else. What is that one profession which earned a lot of money during lockdown? Give me that answer. What is that one profession that earned a lot of money? Health, yes. And within health, do you know, there are many different professions within health.
Doctors.
No, doctors is still very generic. It is the psychologists. It's the people who help other people become and maintain their sanity. And why is it happening? Because people are not comfortable. People are not sure if their company will survive tomorrow or not. People are not sure if their job will be there tomorrow or not. People are not sure how they are going to sustain their family, support their family. And that's why they all go to a psychologist or psychiatrist and get the necessary help. But which is what tells us that certainty is very, very important to us. What do you get when you do a lot of study? You get certainty. What do you get when you get an admission into a good college or a good school like St. Aloysius School? You get certainty that you are in good hands. Your parents get certainty that now my child is in good hands. And that certainty is what makes people more comfortable. Don't you agree with me? Or are you still uncertain after doing all the exam studies, going through each and every question set that you have, going through every revision that you have? When you have that feeling of confidence, that feeling is nothing but certainty. For me, certainty could be in confirming that The money that I have in my bank is still going to be there tomorrow. The job that I have today will be there tomorrow. Certainty that I will be able to help my family, I'll be able to raise a good daughter. That is certainty for me. And this is a very basic need, very, very important. First need. But now let's go to the second need. And the second need is in a complete contradiction of the first need. Now imagine you have a birthday party and all your friends are coming in. All your friends are going to have gifts in their hand. And when everyone has left, you have a pile of gifts in front of you. But what if you had certainty of each and every gift that you have got? Would you be excited? No. If you are going to watch a movie, let's say you're going to watch the next Bond movie that's going to come out, but you already know the story, you already know the ending, would you enjoy the movie? No, you're not going to enjoy the movie. Which is why the second important need that we have is uncertainty. I told you, it is a complete contradiction to your first human need, that was certainty. Second human need is uncertainty. Uncertainty is what you get when you go to a hike, a mountain hike. Uncertainty is what you get when you're playing a video game. You don't know if you would win or not, but you want to give your best. A lot of people are saying no. Why do you say no? I would like to know why. So give more details. Okay, so first need was certainty, second need was uncertainty, and uncertainty is also very important. Do you know why people get so bored with the same routine life over and over again during the lockdown? It's not because of the lockdown, it is because there is too much of certainty. Yes, there is no more suspense, there is no more change, there is no more change in life. Do you know why people hate going to prison? Because you get the same food every day. Do you know why people do not like the mess food sometimes? Sorry, can you repeat that? Yes, that's right. And which is why uncertainty is also so important to us. Uncertainty is the spice of life. Uncertainty is what keeps us thrilled. What's going to happen tomorrow? When you go to meet that girl, you have your first date. Will she say yes? How will it be? So many different questions going all around you. What is that? Uncertainty. Very important, super important. Okay, now certainty is done, uncertainty is done. The third one is significance. Significance is the third human need that we have. When you walk into your friend circle, they all have a smile on their face. Your significance. When you are speaking with your mother, she will drop whatever she has in her hands and she will just totally focus on you. Significance. Do you know why so many times politicians are always angry? Because they go to a meeting and people don't stand for them. What did they not get? That's right, significance. Because a lot of times we fulfill these needs in a positive way, we fulfill these needs in a negative way. And that's why significance is equally important. So let's imagine you are somebody in your own class. You are someone who has done a lot of study. You are certain that everything is good. At the same time, you are also studying for an extra exam. That's where you get your uncertainty. When you go into your class, a lot of your friends actually ask you questions. They refer to your notes. You get your significance. That brings me to the fourth need that you have. It's good that you are getting significance, you have all of these things, but are you growing or do you remain to be the same person? Which is why connection, love is the fourth human need. Connection or love is the fourth human need. Which is why you will see a lot of times when people are champions, sports people who are the top of their game, ultra rich, they have significance, they have certainty, they have a lot of uncertainty. but what they lack is love, connection. They don't feel connected with anyone because now their friends have distanced themselves from them, because now their own parents are not able to talk to them. So that love and connection is super important for all of us. Beyond that door is my family. When this session is done, I'm going to go and have lunch with them. During this lunch, I would get my connection, love, very important for all of us. Now, when all these things are done, you have your love, you've got your certainty, you have your connection, but are you growing in your life or not? Very important. Just imagine if I am doing something now, okay? 20 years from now, if I'm doing the same thing, do you think I will feel good? I will not. I have certainty, I have got uncertainty, I've got my love and connection, but I don't have my growth, which is why growth is equally important. And this is one of the spiritual connections that we have. The definition of growth will change. When you were a child, you didn't have your teeth, but then you got your teeth. You started to talk. Growth. But when you started to talk, it didn't make any sense. It's like blah 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 blah. Talk. Growth, yes. But did it matter? No. Then you learned a language. When you learned that language, people knew that, oh yeah, Aniket can talk. But can Aniket talk sense? That depends how he studies in school. My definition of growth will change. Do you agree? If I am a businessman and I have 100 customers right now, my growth means I will have 1,000 customers. When I have 1,000 customers, my growth means I will have 10,000 customers, which is why growth is what keeps us going. Now, the last need that I'm going to talk about. When you are growing, you've got money, you've got your connection, you are appreciated by everyone. Are you able to give back to the society? That's very important. Are you able to contribute? You see, Mr. J.R.D. Tata, or the founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates, or you take the Bill Gates, that's right, or you take Obama. All these people, they are finding that deep connection in the way they are giving to the society. And in this scenario, I would like to talk about my friend Chetan over here. Chetan likes to give back to the society a lot. He goes to the remotest possible corners of Maharashtra and he helps people, because that fulfills his basic human need of giving to the society. At that time, he gets a certainty. At that time, he is getting significance. At that time, he has that connection and love. So whatever you are going to be passionate about, that one single passion is going to fulfill all of your 6 human needs. Now, which are these needs that you learned today? Can you put that into the chat? What are all the different human needs that do you remember? I mentioned 6 of them. I'm waiting. No, before the doubt, I want you to write down what are the human needs that I just spoke about. If you can just put them into the chat and then tell me your doubt, I would love to hear that and clear that as well. Clarity, certainty, uncertainty, significance, love, growth, and giving to the society. Wow, good. Okay, now you tell me, what was the doubt that you had? What was the question that you have? And tell me your name as well. Okay. I would say, I would put it in a different way. Okay. Emotions How do they get created? Because a lot of time it depends on the meaning that we put on certain things. Events themselves do not have any meaning. Okay, somebody got 75% marks in the school or in their exam. Somebody might put a different meaning on the same percentage and says, you got 75%, bro, high five. Someone might put a different meaning on the same event, calling it only 75%. That's it. Same event, two different meanings. Similarly, when it comes to love and connection, the reasons for feeling these different emotions could be very different. Maybe sometimes love and connection is not able to persist beyond a certain time. Maybe love and connection, because of the difference in understanding, might have different results, which is also why what kind of meaning do you put on top of that will define your mindset. If you put a mindset like, oh my God, I always attract bad people in my life, then whatever happens, it just continues to build your own belief, your limiting belief that you attract bad people. But at the same time, if you replace that belief with a positive belief saying that, okay, I think I need to be better, I need to get better, and how do I attract better people in my life? Okay, so I know that you guys are really interested right now and you have a lot of questions in your mind. However, the time that was allocated to me has come to an end. I no longer can proceed in this session at least. But maybe you can continue to stay connected with me, because I do a lot of online sessions on my YouTube. I do share a lot of videos on my channel. And I just got a message that the time is over. So in that case, what I would be doing is I will be sharing my channel link with all of you. Do subscribe. You can also get connected with me on Facebook and ask your questions over there as well. Um, so with this, I would like to summarize all the different things we looked at today. We looked at finding your passion. We looked at waking up early and why is it so important. We looked at the importance of the six human needs, that is certainty, uncertainty, connection. We looked at growth. We looked at significance. And we also looked at giving back to the society. We answered questions about remaining focused. We answered questions about getting the clarity in your life. So I hope I was able to add value to the 70 or the 90 minutes that you shared with me today. And I believe that the first half of the session, where we had the audio video issues and then we got everything sorted, it was a build up. So, in a way, I thank the universe for that build up. And I thank all of you for remaining with me. I thank all of you for asking all those relevant questions, because I had certain content with me. But what makes it more relatable is when I'm able to answer your questions and have that content relevant for you. Because in the end, learning is about connecting the known with the unknown. So I wish all of you happy learning in your journey ahead, and I wish you all the best. Back to you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.